I don't have a lot of time, so let's get into it. South Alabama lost Fluff Bothwell to the portal, and Western Michigan is historically good against the Sun Belt. It's tight, but I'm taking the Broncos 27-26 in this one. Memphis was in my preseason top 25, but this is their toughest matchup outside of Army and Tulane this year. West Virginia matches up well defensively, but I'm taking the Tigers 28-25. James Madison's defense matches up extremely well against the Hilltoppers as they force the 5th most turnovers in FBS, and their run defense is also fantastic. Give me JMU 34-17. The Cal offense has struggled this year even with Jaden Ott in the backfield. Defense will be the biggest tell, but UNLV is a top 25 team playing a 2-6 ACC team. Give me Vegas 24-13. Great matchup here between two teams that match up very similarly. Defense will be the key in this one, and Georgia Southern's is slightly better. Give me them 21-20. For the Cure Bowl, Jacksonville State has the number 2 rushing attack in FBS, and with Ohio's run defense being just average, I see the Gamecocks taking this one 28-24. Unless DJ Lagway enters the portal, which I doubt he does, this is a fairly easy game for me to predict. Tulane's quarterback already entered, which makes it easier. 31-18 Gators. Pretty even matchup here, and both teams are coming off strong showings. I'm going to narrow it down to the passing game, and I trust Owen McCown to lead UTSA to a win. Score prediction is 37-30. The NIU defense will be the biggest factor in this game against Fresno State. Opponents average 18 points a game against them, and Fresno State averages 26.6 a game on offense. Close one, but I'm taking Fresno State 20-17. San Jose State's offensive line is really bad this season, and South Florida's D-line is significantly better. That'll be the game changer here. Bulls win 31-17. Pitt has looked awful without their starting quarterback Eli Holstein, but they've got a good matchup here against Toledo. Nonetheless, I'm taking the underdogs behind that great defense in a close 23-20 game. When it comes to these bigger schools, transfers are inevitable, but as I am writing this on Tuesday the 10th, no major players have entered the portal. As of now, Rutgers' bad run defense is what makes me pick Kansas State 24-21. According to PFF, Arkansas State is the worst team to make a bowl game. Harold Fannin and Bowling Green is a tough matchup, so the Falcons take this one 34-14. If John Mateer enters the portal, this game becomes easier to predict. Even with Mateer, it will be difficult for the Cougars to win, and I still have Kyle McCord and the Orange winning this one 34-28. Georgia Tech is one of my favorite teams in college football this year, but they've already lost Eric Singleton and who knows who else. But it's hard to bet against this team when Haynes King is at QB. Give me the Yellow Jackets 31-21. Navy is 2-3 in their last 5 games. Oklahoma's run defense is also phenomenal, so this is a bad matchup for the midshipmen. Give me the Sooners 23-7. Texas Tech is a team that I've loved this year, but Arkansas is an underrated SEC team. I love the matchup here. Give me Texas Tech 34-20 based on the amount of Arkansas transfers so far. Lots of transfers on both of these squads, but the Aggies didn't lose the heart of their rushing attack. With USC having a mediocre run defense, Texas A&M takes this one 24-20. We have a bowl game with common opponents. The Tar Heels went 1-1, the Huskies went 0-2. UConn doesn't have any great quality wins, so I'm taking UNC 27-21. Nebraska's first bowl game since 2016 is up against a decent Boston College team who have close losses to several ranked teams and a win over Syracuse. Give me the Eagles 27-26. I love this upset potential, especially if Ben Wooldridge plays, but TCU is a strong team this season, and I think Louisiana deserved a better matchup. TCU wins 23-13. Pop-Tarts Bowl. Fantastic matchup here. Miami has no ranked wins, but this has top potential to be their first. ISU had a rough outing against Arizona State, and with Cam Ward playing, this one may be even tougher. Give me the Canes 37-35. Miami, Ohio really struggled in their bowl game, but if 1,000-yard rusher Keon Mosey can get going against a mediocre CSU run defense, they can win this. Give me the Redhawks 27-23. While East Carolina is 4-1 in their last 5, I still think NC State could have had a better AAC matchup. I think they'll win this one 30-21. In-conference matchup for the Alamo Bowl, and I think there's a clear stronger team in this one. No opt-outs for the Buffaloes, who take this game 40-28. This game looks better than I initially thought. Marshall has won 7 straight, and Army's only loss was to Notre Dame. Key Marshall offensive players are in the portal now, but they cover the spread and still lose 27-20. Mizzou is one of the more questionable SEC teams this season, and now they get the best defense they've seen all year, at least according to PFF. I'm still taking Mizzou 15-14. Michigan takes on the team with a ton of transfers, but this Bama team is pissed. They just missed the playoffs and won't back down to an unranked team. Give me the Tide, 27-17. This is a no-brainer for me. Louisville ended their season with a blowout win over Kentucky, and Washington got blown out by Oregon. Cardinals win 31-12. I'm a huge Illini fan, and unbiased, they have a legitimate shot here. This will likely be a defensive matchup, and South Carolina has the better defense. 21-20 is my final score. Gamecocks win. Baylor is 6-0 since starting 2-4, and while the SEC is tough, Baylor is too. If Sawyer Robertson and Bryson Washington play, Baylor will take this one. Final score of 31-27. I absolutely love this matchup. Duke's only losses are to GT, SMU, and Miami, but they also don't have Malik Murphy in this game. Ole Miss is still a great team, and they haven't had too many opt-outs so far. Give me Ole Miss 27-21. Texas in-state matchup is pretty cool, but this is forgettable in the grand scheme. I think Texas State is a much better team, and I think they'll comfortably take this one 40-24. Minnesota is probably the most underrated Big Ten Bowl team, but they've also had a boatload of important opt-outs. I still think they win this matchup in a close 24-23 game. Liberty has lost a lot of guys to the portal already, including quarterback Caden Salter. Buffalo's great pass defense will take advantage of that. They win this one 28-27. On to the playoffs. Texas is a team that I have questions about, but I also don't think Clemson is a top 12 team. They have scored a combined 17 points in 2 games against SEC opponents this year. Give me the Longhorns 21-10 in this one. Penn State is another high-seeded team that I have questions about, and it's very similar to the Clemson-Texas matchup. I'm intrigued to see how many points Penn State can put up, but it would not shock me if SMU held them. This will be close, but I'm taking Penn State 31-28. In-state matchup here as we get 2 one-loss schools with interesting resumes. Notre Dame has been a top 3 team since losing to NIU. Indiana hasn't proven much, but that defense will hold up well. And it will be a defensive matchup, but I'm taking Notre Dame 19-13 in this one. This game is going to be fun. I'm shocked that the Buckeyes are heavy favorites, especially given that Nico Yamaleava is great on the road. Yet, SEC team outside in the winter up north, this could go very wrong. I'm thinking another defensive matchup here. Give me the Buckeyes 20-17. The Longhorns' great run defense has to match up against a hot Arizona State offense who has put up 45+ in their last 2 games. Cam Scatabo is the real deal, but so is this Texas run defense. I'm not really torn on who I think will win, I'm just more torn on what the score will be. I'll say final score 30-17 in the Longhorns' favor. Rematch of a 1-point game earlier in the season. Oregon lucked out with a dumb Will Howard decision and a now patched manipulation of the play clock. This game will be competitive once again and could be the game of the year, but I can't pick against the undefeated Ducks. Final score 31-28. I would put money on the fact that Penn State is heavily favored here. Boise State only lost to Oregon by 3, and they've had only 2 questionable wins since then. On top of that, Penn State's run defense is nothing to adore. I'm taking the Broncos in this one, 28-27. Let's say Carson Beck plays in this game. You match him up against a phenomenal Fighting Irish defense, and the Georgia defense has underperformed, but Georgia has found ways to win games. They'll do that again, but in a tight matchup, 14-13. Let's match the Longhorns and the Ducks up really quick. Oregon wins pretty much everywhere on offense, and Texas wins pretty much everywhere on defense. It's just hard to be optimistic about a Texas team that we are expecting to beat their first squad in the top 25 this year. Give me the Ducks 24-17. The Bulldogs play very well against the run, even if the defense as a whole has underperformed, and this will likely be Genty's worst performance of the season. Kirby Smart is a genius and will find a way to take Genty out of the game. Give me the Bulldogs here, 23-14. And to wrap this video up, we have my national championship prediction. Dylan Gabriel will have to get going if the Ducks want to win this one, and the run game will have to get going if the Dogs want to win. It's just so hard to go against an undefeated team coming out of the Big Ten with, at this point, 6 wins over schools ranked in the top 25 and 5 inside the top 10. I have the Ducks winning the national championship by a score of 27-23.